Alright, so today we're gonna talk about skating ledges. So some things we're gonna cover is going faster, feeling stable as we go faster, and making sure that we're using our whole body so that we can slow down the movement instead of feeling rushed to get on top of the ledge, depending on how fast you're going. So this is also relative to your trick selections, your experience with skating ledges, even if they're ones this tall or some that are a bit bigger like the one I just skated. This is gonna apply to you. So first we're gonna talk about making sure you feel stable when you're skating ledges. The biggest issue I ran into when I was learning tricks or learning how to progress on a ledge, after 50-50 or even with the 50-50, is that I felt scared and unstable, which had me feeling like I was gonna miss the pop and the board was gonna leave me as I went up. So as I continued skating throughout these past 10 years, I've been skating for 16, I've realized that even me just getting a bit lower allowed me to feel way more confident when I got to get on top of ledges, whether they're this height or even a small height like that, right? Because like the manual pad ledge over there, because even if something is small relative to what you usually skate, it's still important to feel stable, because as you add speed when you're skating ledges, manis, whatever trick, that you automatically become a little unstable. So to counteract that, or counterbalance, not sure which one fits better, you want to make sure that you're getting lower, so centering your weight over your board lower, so here. And the way you best do that, or the way to best do that, is making sure that your hips are going back, or in other words, that your butt is like sticking out, so that when you get lower, your weight is sitting on top of the board instead of falling forward, right? And so that's really gonna help you feel secure when you pop, and it's gonna allow you to take whatever tricks you're practicing on and might have good on a smaller ledge to a bigger ledge. And so, like I said, this is relative to your skating, so small and big can be so many different things. And so now that we kind of understand stability is important, and I'll go more in depth, right, with some examples of me skating them. But now that we talked about stability, I want to talk about making sure that when you're going faster, and I kind of already touched on it, when you're going faster, it's important that you're not holding so much time, like tension, on this part, right? There's a lot of skaters who skate that way, and there's always exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, if you're holding yourself low here so long, like for example, if I'm gonna skate that corner and I'm starting to get low here, and then I wait for myself to get to the corner, it takes so much strength to get how would I say, like, to just hold yourself in that position. So what I want for you to practice, and this doesn't even need to be practicing on a ledge, it's just you can do it on a mani pad, so we'll go on the mani pad. Is what I want you to practice is understanding that you need to shorten that period of tension. So practice when you ollie onto stuff, going down and then exploding up. So that was what I minimized the time it took me to get down into position, and then I exploded up as soon as I got down there. That habit is gonna allow you to be efficient with your strength that you need for the trick. So this is what you don't want to do. I exaggerated it, but for the most part, you don't want to be holding so much energy or using so much energy to hold you, right? Because we need to treat our jumps like springs, right? We compress them. If you notice, you compress a spring and let it go. That's what we want, right? Or if you think about that, that's what we want. So that's number 2. Don't use up so much energy as you're approaching the ledge. This is a little different when you're skating in a street spot. The ground is rough, and and you need to make sure you're stable, right? But for the most part, you're here, and then you get low, and then you explode. That's at a street spot. Here, the ground is perfect. You can kind of play around with staying straight up over your board, and just think about that compression and exploding when you get to the obstacle. That's gonna have you be much more efficient and gonna give you more energy throughout your session if you just implement that little thing into skating ledges. So number one, we talked about being stable. Number two, making sure you can explode. And number three, I want you to think about if the ledge you're choosing to practice on is actually the right ledge for you. You know, like if you find yourself being able to, for example, myself, if I find myself being able to crook this ledge super easily, that wasn't a crook, but if I can get onto that crook relatively simple, it doesn't mean that I can nollie flip crook onto that. You know what I mean? So what I want to practice is choosing the right ledge to skate or to practice your tricks. It doesn't mean that you can't ever go back to that, or you can't challenge yourself or explore the idea, but you got to know when to reel it back a bit and choose a smaller ledge. This is a little different if you don't have smaller ledges and you just have that one to work with. But most of the time you have, or most people can think of how to minimize the challenge. So for example, even if you don't have another ledge but you have a sidewalk, which most of us do, you can practice going onto this and locking on here. Whoa. But basically what I'm saying though is you have to understand that you may be setting yourself up for for failure, or you're biting off more than you could chew. So you want to make sure that you're choosing your battles wisely as far as progressing and building that confidence. Because going back to a video I did before, if you have a sense of insecurity or fear, you could refer to, it might be because you haven't built that confidence with that height or with that nollie flip. Maybe it's not even the ledge you need the height that's a problem. It's probably just a nollie flip. So there's a lot of things to consider when you're skating ledges, because it takes a lot of, how would I say, like stability and speed to do certain tricks. But many of us aren't comfortable doing those tricks with the speed, or we're comfortable doing those tricks, but we feel unstable. So when we take it at higher ledges, or even the same ledge but with a faster, like with more speed, it just kind of falls apart. So you want to be stable through the hips. Make sure you're being efficient with your snap, and then choosing your battles wisely. What's the time?
8:58.
8 minutes? Okay, cool. So I am going to do a crook nollie flip, and I'm kind of gonna, after every try, I'm gonna talk about what my thoughts are and how I'm going about, making a bit more, I guess I would say, like effortlessly and efficient. So I'm gonna do it here. Let's get waxed. Gotta get waxed. I'm lucky, I'm talking to myself too, because luckily someone left wax here a couple days back, and I have a perfect, I think this is the Golf wax. Golf. Did you say golf?
Golf?
Am I saying it right? Golf wax? I don't know what they use this for. Maybe I don't know. But we're gonna do crook nollie flip. And with this trick, it's especially important that I'm able to snap lightly onto the board. So let's see if I follow that advice. Well, how many tries? Comment how many tries do you think it's gonna take me to do this quick nollie flip. I personally think 4th try, but I wouldn't be surprised if I get it first try, because it's one of those tricks. Now, you know, it took a lot of work, but it's one of those tricks that once you're on there, as long as you're like engaged and flick, get the right flick. I mean, I guess that's what it is with every trick, but for me, that's how it feels. It feels like, okay, I'm on there. I flick and it's there. Well, let's see. I didn't get on the crook. All right, so right away, I feel like I held, I was being, how do I say this? Like, I overthought getting on. I was like, over fixated on getting on, but clearly I didn't even spring enough, because I didn't reach my trucks over there. So we're gonna be a bit more intentional about getting that good snap, so that I get my truck over. So I like lean back.
Yeah.
You think that's all? Okay. So that right there, I'm thinking, making sure that my arms are equally, like, are level pretty much. I don't want one going over here or the other one going over here, because if this arm was close to my side, it'd cause me to fall a little forward. Just like that one, because my back arm was here. It had me slipping back. Damn, I need water. That one hurt so bad. Oh, that was the 3rd one, huh? Honestly, I like exaggerated that flip. Wow, that was wow. That one was all like, I didn't even put any emphasis on like the pop out. I just kind of flicked it. I don't know. Too much like power went on there. Oh my god, that was scary. Okay. Honestly, that one I went too slow. For me, I need to go faster. But that was my 4th one. So whoever picked 5th, it's gonna be this one. Let's see if my confidence matches the reality.
Oh.
Yeah. So that one, I was just lighter on the flick. Something that I thought of this morning, because someone asked the question on like how to do a laser flip. They were saying, or they asked me, oh, I only get my front foot on there. This is kind of a tangent, but it applies. I kind of get only my front foot on there. And what I was thinking is how when I was learning tray flips, I would do this. So my back foot would never really be like trying to get on. I'd already be like, okay, I'm only gonna do the front foot. And so it's either the guy trying the laser flip built a habit of only getting the front foot, or they're not even committing to this position where they're over the front foot. You know, they might be going here and then just putting all their weight on the back foot. I don't know how to do laser flips, but I know if I were to try them, actually I've gotten close. I've done it off a ledge, or almost. I know if I'm gonna try it, I have to be over this foot. And even though I might not get close at first because it's fairly new, that's the right, that's worth way more, in my opinion, than doing this. that one didn't form, but if it formed, it's way better than forming it and then kind of only having one foot and with your legs sticking out. So that's not what you want. You want to be intentional about staying over that lead foot, like I was on this crook nollie flip, and on top of that, not putting so much emphasis on either the pop or the flick. They have to work as a team in some ways. Like if you look at the best skaters, and that was not like the best example, but the best skaters, you can see how it looks effortlessly, like they're going up together. They're not like exaggerating, even though maybe one might stick out a bit more versus the other. Like it's not so exaggerated. They're always in unison, like they're always working together. All right, should we do one more for fun to clean it up?
Oh, the nollie crook.
Yeah. How much time do we have?
16.
Okay, we're gonna do one more and then we're gonna end it here. But how many tries do you think?
First try.
I leaned back a little bit. So that one, I held it too much, and I think because I'm so used to doing it quick, I already wanted to go kind of flick, but I had to like bring myself back, and that just threw off the whole motion. So it has to be one, like crook, and then two. That's it. One, and then pop flick at the same time. With myself being engaged the whole time. Honestly, that one, my head was like, okay, I'm not gonna try it, I'm gonna try it, not gonna try it. Fuck it, I'll try it, you know? Because of, but I think I was also kind of going too slow. Like I was already thinking about landing and going to the left because I didn't want to hit it.
Yeah.
So you could see how I landed to the left. So that actually brings me to a good point. How you start is largely going to determine how you end. So in other words, to simplify it, your input is going to determine the output. So if you're going into a trick with fear or hesitation, the whole trick might be, the way you did the trick or attempted it is going to be a result of that hesitation.
Defensive.
Huh?
It's gonna result in being defensive.
No, not really. I mean, yeah, in a way, actually, like.
Could you say to skate offensive?
Yes. Like if I'm in a defensive, like, oh my god, I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, you might land insecurely like that. All right. I didn't even lock on right. I knew as soon as I got onto the crook that I wasn't gonna do it. So I just flipped it out. Because why not? But sometimes, like, all right, this doesn't feel right, let me not even try it, Because you don't want to build on top of those bad habits. So I didn't do so right by even flicking. I think I was just kind of too up high. Like I was high up there. Like I'm not really staying low, so I have to reach, or it feels like I'm reaching for the flip. Everything needs to be put together. Get low, go a little faster, stay in the front foot. Lead foot. So I had a little more friction on that one. Like I was all committed, and then I think I leaned too forward. Like I got onto my weight was a bit too close to the tip of the nose. But that one felt good as far as like commitment wise, So that was a good one to learn from. Too excited.
20 minutes.
Put him out. We're gonna land it. We're gonna land it. This is one of those tricks where I want to have in a competition, but I know I need a lot of work to do. But it's possible because in the past I've done kickflip nose grind. I mean kickflip crook, nollie flip out. So I know I have this trick like well enough to actually just fine tune it and then do it in a competition. I think my foot was like barely here. I need to kind of keep it a bit more inside so that I get more of the flick. It's either that or if I had new grip, I think it would have been good. I did the same thing. That one felt good though. Generally, I don't want to move my foot. Like I just want to get into position to flick. But when you're going the distance, sometimes you can't do that. And you know, it's not a bad thing. People do it. I just would like to be like for it to be the case where I just land in position, maybe tweak it to get the tension and then flick.
Oh,
I didn't even flick. Alright. I think I got too confident with this trick. I probably bit off more than I can chew. But you see, the flick is the only issue. If it was an issue to like actually even get to the flick, that's where I'm like, okay, I need to either go slower, stall, or pick a smaller ledge, or save it for later. Because I've already done that here, so I know what factors to consider. Bonus trick. We need to land it. We need to land it. I can't not land it.
this is landed, dude. Let's go.
I know, right? Kind of don't know what's going on.
Drink some water, maybe.
You know what it is? On that one especially, I'm waiting too long. Like I push, I kind of do the hop too late. Like I'm already hopping outside here, you know? Like I'm going and then I push here. I need to go. Or it might just be water. I don't know if I've said this in a YouTube video, but when you're drinking water, you want to drink it throughout the session and not just wait till the end and like. All right, so we're having issues with storage, but we're gonna land this trick one more time, and then we'll end the video. But hopefully you've been getting some help from what I've said, and it's not about over analyzing your every attempt, but it's more of understanding that there's a lesson within every attempt. So having said that, we're gonna land it right now.
First try.
That's too high up there. I was disengaged. I need to stay engaged throughout the whole movement. shit. I got my. Woo, hit a bruise. We hit a bruise. I'm feeling very defeated right now. Very defeated. What I will say is that these trucks, they're very like uneven. Sometimes they're leaning to the right, I mean to the left, others to the right. So that's definitely messing me up a bit. Regardless, it's still possible. We're gonna get it. We are going to get it. We're going to get it. Okay. I think I need more wax, but I don't know if I'm tired. I'm not in there. I feel like I'm just getting stuck on the nose part. Alright. Right here. I'm gonna go a little longer, the grind. Engaged. I'm rushing it. I'm feeling pressured by the storage. It's an outside factor leading in to the trick. It be like that. You gotta learn how to zone out, because that doesn't, well, it does matter, but it shouldn't affect the track. Breather. Slow and steady wins the race. Wow. Alright, my dudes, I'm gonna give it one more try, because otherwise we're gonna be playing this game of deleting videos and storage and stuff. But maybe the next time we do a video, I'm gonna start with this trick. There we go, to redeem myself. But what I want to leave you with is take your time. You can learn something from every mistake. This video was about ledges, but it applies, the same concepts apply to learning or improving your skating on different obstacles. So hopefully that helped, and we're gonna give it one more go and then say later. Later, dudes. Have a great one.